Well, there is no doubt about it. The All Blacks, they are under pressure at the moment.
The coaches are going to have to look in the mirror, and that's what All Blacks do. There are no excuses around us. We are not good enough at the moment.
Do you get a bigger challenge in rugby than going to South Africa, playing back-to-back tests at altitude?
I think this is one of the hardest challenges the All Blacks have had to have in a long, long time. So how am I going to beat the Springboks? With speed and skill and mobility. That means that I'm running a risk up front. The fact that they may have put us under pressure at scrum time. They might put us under pressure with a line-out drive, but what we are going to do is we're going to score points. We're going to put attacking weapons on the field.
Alright, so this review I would like to subdivide in 3 sections. The first section will be my thoughts on yesterday's game. Number 2 will be the players who stood out for me in the Springboks and the All Black teams. And number 3 is the way forward for the All Blacks. So my thoughts on yesterday's game. So it's quite clear that this All Black team of Ian Foster, this team is damaged goods. I don't see a way of this team coming back and winning meaningful games unless there's a huge overhaul. This All Black team's decline started in 2018 when the Springboks won their first game away in New Zealand after a very long time in Wellington, and that is when the decline started. After that game, the All Blacks, they lost against Ireland regularly, they lost against France, and they drew against the Springboks and lost against the Springboks as well in Australia last year. So in yesterday's game, the Springboks brought to the table what they always bring to the table. It's like you have a family member coming over for Christmas lunch, and you know that this auntie will always bring a peppermint crisp tart. She will bring nothing else. She will always bring that, and that is how the Springboks is. They brought the same very good set piece, very good in the air, and most importantly, they were very good in defense. I think that the Springboks line defense was sublime, and also their power at the breakdown. And that is where, in my opinion, where the game was won and lost, was in the strong defense of the Springboks and also in the breakdown. So in the first minute, we obviously lost Faf de Klerk, and I believe that every Springbok fan, we were all concerned having this 6-2 split on the bench, having one of your star players being knocked out cold within the first minute of the game. Step up, Mr. Jaden Hendrikse, and for me, I felt that we didn't miss Faf de Klerk. I think Jaden Hendrikse, he fulfilled his role very well, and the Springbok machine just moved on after that. But it's quite clear that Faf de Klerk, he will be out for the next game. And we will then see Jaden Hendrikse start the second test next week, and maybe someone like Ashel Jantjies will come on the bench. So the Springboks, like I said, the Springboks, they dominated almost every facet of this game. It's a pity the All Blacks, they couldn't fire a shot. The only shots that were fired was, I would think, the break from Bowden Barrett when Damon Willemse tried for the 50-22. And obviously, Bowden Barrett having the awareness, knowing that if he didn't do something spectacular there, the Springboks should have been in the 22 goal line. Obviously, line out driving more, whoop, try. But here comes Mr. Bowden Barrett. He taps the ball infield into his own goal area, and the guy counter-attacks. That was the first shot fight by the All Blacks. The second shot fight by the All Blacks was the run from Caleb Clark. I think that was an excellent run there from Caleb Clark. But then again, come on, Damon Willemse, the man from Polhus, just close by in Stellenbosch. When Damon Willemse comes from behind and does an amazing tackle on Caleb Clark. To me, that was my favorite part of this game, or the favorite piece of play in that game, was a tackle, desperation tackle from Damon Willemse, and the guy, he caught Caleb Clark, but obviously Shannon Frizzell, he ended up still scoring the try. But I think the All Blacks, they didn't fire a shot. The only positive thing for the All Blacks in this game was an improvement in the defense. I think the All Blacks, they defended very well. whenever the Boks was trying to attack, the All Blacks defense were up to it. And in the first half, you could see the Springboks that they tried to attack the All Blacks in the same way. They changed their play in that final against England in the 2019 World Cup. But the All Blacks defense held up very nicely. Another important event that occurred in this game was the red card of Arendse. That was a definite red card. I don't think anybody would complain that it wasn't a red card. It was definitely a red card. I was like very worried for Bowden Barrett, the way he fell on the shoulder neck area. That to me looked very dangerous. But Arendse, he came off second on that collision, and the Springboks might have an issue on fulfilling that wing. Many pundits or many people are talking about Jesse Kriel coming in, or maybe even Fassi coming in. To me, it's a pity that the top try scorer from the URC, Zaz, is not maybe fit enough to be in a Springbok setup. It's a pity that the top try scorer of the URC couldn't come in and fulfill that role. But I think there's enough replacements in the Springbok setup to fulfill that role. And Jesse Kriel might be the guy that will come in to step in that wing area. The players that stood out for me. So like I previously said, Faf de Klerk got injured early. On comes Jaden Hendrikse. Hendrikse had to man up, he had to stand up. And he did man up and he did stand up. And I didn't miss Faf de Klerk. Hendrikse, he played a very good game. The Springboks, they always play off 9. So having a very good 9, that is the bedrock of a Springbok team. And I think Jaden Hendrikse, he fulfilled his role perfectly. The other player that stood out for me was Arendse. The guy had big shoes to fill with the absence of Cheslin Colby. But Arendse, he was very good in defense, he was very good in the air, and obviously he took his try very nicely from that pass from M. It was a beautiful, beautiful try. So Arendse is a player that has a long Springbok future ahead of him. I think that the youngsters are coming through very nicely in the Springbok setup. We have a new superstar being born in Arendse. But the player that stood out far above any other player on the day is none other than Malcolm Marx. I mean, this guy is the best hooker in the world, and I want someone in the comments to change my mind. Please change my mind. I'm saying Malcolm Marx is the best hooker in the world. Now I know my Irish subscribers and my Irish viewers, you will maybe say that the gentleman, the guy that plays for Leinster, number 2, and for Ireland, what's his name? I can't get to his name. But he's a very good player. But I think that Malcolm Marx is the best hooker in the world. And please, come on guys, change my mind. Change my mind on this. He's the best hooker in the world. I mean, the guy, he does his fundamentals right as a hooker. Scrum, he's a very strong scrummager. He throws lineouts well. But most of all, the third dimension he brings in his game is his work at the breakdown, his ability to turn over ball from the position. That makes Malcolm Marx the best hooker in the world and one of the best players in the world, if I might add. The guy's brilliant. And it all happened for him on his 50th cap. And may there be more caps. I wish him another 50 caps for Malcolm Marx. And yeah, I enjoyed his play. He carried the Springboks. And that is the hallmark of a very good player and one of the Springbok legends that there is. The player for me that stood out for the All Blacks was Bowden Barrett. I think he tried to ignite this All Black team. Like I previously said, he's magic from the goal line, running through, almost creating an opportunity for the All Blacks to score points or try. And the way he was running on the ball, his defense, Bowden Barrett was the standard player for the All Blacks. And for me, it's very hard to recognize or to acknowledge another player that stood out for the All Blacks. It's very hard. Maybe Adi Savia, I don't know, but it's very hard for me. But I think Bowden Barrett, he was the best All Black player on the day. So where to from here for the All Blacks? So for the All Blacks, their goal now, or the immediate goal, is to claw back some respect. However, they are going to Hades, to Rugby Hades, which is Ellis Park. Now, yesterday's game was not on the high veld, people. It was not at altitude. It was in the low veld. Saturday's game will be on the high veld. It will be at altitude in Johannesburg at Emirates Ellis Park, whatever the name is, but Ellis Park is the name. But the All Blacks, they need to get some respect. Win or lose, they need to get some respect. And I'm just in fear of the All Blacks this coming weekend that they might get pummeled again. Ian Foster
was a big stage and we fell short.
He has to go. Win or lose, they have to sack Ian Foster. I don't foresee this current All Black team with the coaching setup doing anything in this rugby championship in November and going into the World Cup next year. So in my opinion, win or lose, Ian Foster, he has to be fired, he has to go. There are too many good teams at this moment in international rugby that are capable of winning the All Blacks. There are too many. I would say it is South Africa, it's Ireland, it's France, it's England as well. 4 teams capable of winning the All Blacks on any given day. Australia, maybe, I don't know. But those 4 teams I mentioned now, they can beat the All Blacks, and it's very hard for those kind of All Black teams to win the World Cup next year. So, bringing in Scott Robinson.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
Razor. So, many New Zealanders that would hope to believe that Razor will be the savior. Well, in my opinion, being a very good coach at Super Rugby does not mean that you're going to be a very good coach or a very successful coach. Let me rather phrase it like that. A very successful coach at International Test Rugby. Robbie Deans, one of the Super Rugby legends of coaches. I would say, obviously, coaching Australia doesn't have the depth of New Zealand rugby. But Robbie Deans, he didn't light up international rugby when he was coaching Australia. But Robertson, he is being seen as the savior. The jury is out for me in that. I think Super Rugby, the world has shifted. I think World Rugby has shifted, and I think that the shift has moved north. The style of play that's being played currently in rugby is more geared for the north. I would say that the Crusaders, they are a team that is not in the same mold of your traditional New Zealand teams. The Crusaders, they're also a very good team in set plays, in defense, set piece, attack. But yeah, I think that if Ian Foster is fired or resigns and Razor comes in, the jury's out, and the question will be, will he be up for it? Will he be very successful as Steve Hansen was for the All Blacks at international rugby? But I truly believe that the balance has shifted up north, and to me, the Springboks are classified as a Northern Hemisphere team. Everything of the Springboks, the way they play, the way they approach the game, it's all geared in the same way that the teams in the north plays the game. Yeah, guys, so this is my overview, my review of yesterday's game. I would like to hear from you guys. Comment, let's have a chat. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. And by the way, thank you very much for those who are subscribed to my channel. The channel, we've reached 1,000 subscribers. I want to thank you guys for your support. And let's build this community, and let's just interact and enjoy the sport of rugby. So guys, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys on my next video.